Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Checked Out Retail Stories podcast. We're the Sprankle Brothers, Ryan and Doug, and we are here. Started our journey in 1980, Central PA, baby. And we are here right now with you in Western PA, grinding it out every day in a very competitive retail landscape, low margins, high costs.
Yeah.
And fewer independent retailers every year.
Fun fact, according to the FMS Solutions accounting firm, we lost 5% last year. Nationwide. 5% either sold out, closed, or no longer there.
I feel like, we're dinosaurs, so.
Oh, yeah, no, the comet hit like 10 years ago.
We're doing everything we can, but that's why we need our viewers out there. Because if you view this, maybe we
have
can
a chance to
survive a little
survive.
longer. So you can help a couple of small retailers survive. Just like John Dutton said in Yellowstone, the goal has always been the same. Survive one more season.
Yeah, that's about it.
We want to thank our sponsors. A quick thank you to our sponsor, PA Skill Alliance. Start your road to winning by playing Pennsylvania skill games. Visit www.paskillalliance.org for more information.
And remember, guys, it's skill, not luck.
Skill, not luck, baby.
But welcome to the Checked Out. We're super excited. Checked Out with Ryan and Doug.
Because we are checked out.
We're done. We're checked out.
Checked out.
We've had enough.
This is our way to check out.
But Ryan, let's go back. Let's go back to early Spranklehood. I was 6. You were 12, 6 years apart.
6 years apart.
And you were living your best life. And Dad wanted to start the family butcher shop in Altoona at the family farm.
Yeah.
And, for those who've never been to the Sprankle Butcher Shop, even back then, it was a little edgy. It
was a cast of characters.
It was.
There was a lot of outlaws and some in-laws.
Most of our in-laws. But if you guys weren't there, there was a massive barn house. Imagine the old farmhouse, real big. It literally had a wood burner stove and heat inside. And you can tell it was patchwork together. When they needed a shower in the first level, they just put it in the living room. It was a little rough. So
Keep in mind too, we own 3 grocery stores now, but at the time, Dad, it was before he owned grocery stores, before he was a salesman. He was a union butcher,
right?
And he started off as a journeyman. At this point in his career, he was a stud. He was in charge of a few stores, meat rooms. He was like the butcher of Central Pennsylvania.
Oh no, he was the guy.
Yeah.
But the farm guys, so it's a dilapidated barn house. There was a corral out back, and then there's pork chop that was the Uncle Tim. He was the pig that Uncle Tim raised out back, literally for pork chops. So he had him tied up behind the farmhouse. The farmhouse maybe had running water sometimes, maybe didn't. It was questionable.
An old farmhouse.
It was an old farmhouse. I mean, it was probably
I think it was like 1840s.
I believe it.
Yeah, 1840s.
And then they put this little building in, which was, you had basically a little warehouse building that was on the left side of a tiny office. On the right side, in between, there was this place where we salted hides. And for those of you who don't know what salting hides is, it's literally you take the hot hide off the deer. You roll it out. It feels almost like a flour. It's very powdery. It's almost like, it's weird. You think it's wet and slimy. It's not. It's like a real warm powder. And as you pull it apart and put salt on it, it spreads out. So there's a pile of that in the middle. You'd walk in. There's the butcher room where the deer gets its first experience, which would they'd take the skin off, and then if there's a mount, they would do that part. And then you walked into the main meat room, and then there was a walk-around cooler that entered all the rooms except for the office on the right-hand side, and then a deeper freezer in the back.
And remember, they started this thing as a way, we were, we'll say middle class, lower middle class, safe to say at that point, our family.
I don't think we were middle yet at that point.
Maybe not even middle.
No.
And so we were
tight.
working people, factory jobs, butcher jobs, very proud people, hardworking people. But the thing is that at the time, Christmas was a struggle for everybody in our family. And so, it was a way they were like, hey, my dad was a great butcher. The family, we're 5th generation, so everybody had picked up a knife throughout their lives. So it's like, hey, we all know how to cut meat. There's a need for deer processing. We could work all through deer season as a family and make enough money for everybody to take care of Christmas, take care of all their bills, catch up on bills for the year. It was like a big deal. The crazy thing is, at the time, nobody had extra money, but everybody literally put everything they had. They got a small loan, and they Dad used his connections with Hobart and some other companies to get some equipment, used equipment in. They put together a pretty nice little shop there with a big walk-in cooler. It was a wild deal, but it was a wild deal because it all happened so quick, and they turned this little pole barn that probably should have been taken down.
Oh yeah, it wasn't safe. It wasn't safe. It was questionable. The whole thing was questionable. It's funny though, like, you'd have all these people there. I mean, there were so many great characters. You had Road Hunting Russell, which literally shot a hole through his car when he was road hunting one day.
Yeah, road hunting Russell.
And he was a
Legend.
guy that reminds you of, like, imagine like a Hulk Hogan, but a little more Appalachian.
He was tough, man.
He was a strong guy.
Tough guy.
And then you had Fat Rat,
Rat.
Uncle Jeff
Yeah,
there.
Yeah.
He had Timmy T-Bone, Uncle Tim.
Yeah.
And then you had there was what, Beard Ryan?
There was I think it was long-haired Ryan.
Long-haired Ryan.
Long-haired Ryan, because at the time not too many people had long hair in Central PA. Ironically, everybody in Central PA, all the hardcore guys in Central PA all had these short hair and everything, but yet they all worshiped these '80s hair bands where the guys wore makeup and had this crazy long hair. It's kind of ironic, I thought.
Now, to clarify though, not all these characters, they were friends of like Uncle Rick or whoever they may be. Like Road Hunting Russell, he wasn't family.
No,
And like, there was remember Freddie? They named the goat.
Freddie Wagner.
These are all like, they're all like big groups of people, but they weren't technically Sprankles. They were just
Literally were outlaws. It was hired help for the winter. Tough guys. They were mountain men. They had been in trouble with the law. There may have been a few times where somebody came in with a suit and they assumed it was the authorities and ran down into the woods behind the farm. It was a wild.
I do remember a couple times the cops coming,
wild
looking
bunch.
for people.
The crazy thing is, in Central PA, what we just talked about in the 1980s wasn't a big deal. Like if we would have told whoever we were talking to from Central PA about what we were experiencing, what we were doing with our winter break and with our off time after Thanksgiving, they wouldn't have thought anything of it. They would have just said, "So, is your old man sharpening your knives, or are you sharpening your knives yet?" That would have been the answer. If we would have told somebody anywhere else in the country about what we experienced, they probably would have called CYS, and they probably would have looked at us like we just confessed to some crazy crime. I mean, but to us, it was just part of the game. We were from a long line of butchers. It's like Eric Church. We're sinners like me. I mean, we're just from a rough group of people, hardworking group of people. But the stories are amazing, and the experience really helped form us.
Think of the story. So every once in a while, you'd be in the meat room, and then some, because of the alcohol, because of other recreational behaviors, you'd get a lot of guys that are already prone to violence get a little riled up, and there'd be the meat room fight. So Grandma would take us out back, and we would be on the hillside, and there's a couple horses there, and I think the one was Shawnee or Starbuck or the mare. The mare was a
Cherokee.
Cherokee was her horse. Big mare. So guys, the mare is a big horse. I mean, 14 hands plus, big
horse.
tall horse.
Tall horse.
And there was the little and it's
beautiful
funny.
horse. It was an Appaloosa.
It was a pretty horse.
It had the spots on the back. Very beautiful.
And at the time, I didn't understand what she said, but as an adult, I think it's freaking hilarious. But so there's another horse there. So you had the big woman horse, the mare, and then you had the smaller horse, which was a little pony. And I thought it was named JR because Grandpap was named JR. So it was always a joke that Grandpap he wasn't a little guy.
No.
But it called him JR.
No.
It was called, the horse was what? Bucky.
Bucky
was little horse.
Little pony.
And Grandma takes us and the other niece and nephews over to to this hillside. We're watching these horses. So there's the big mare, there's Bucky, the little pony. So the mare was in heat at the time, which I didn't understand any of this until I was older, but the mare was in heat. And she was obviously ready to have some fun. And then the little horse Bucky, which was a pony, was a guy, so he was trying to do what he needs to do. So I'm there as a kid just watching these horses. I thought they were fighting. I'm like, Grandma, why are they fighting? And she looked at me and she's like, Dougie, they're not fighting. I'm like, she's like, but to be honest with you, that's sending a boy to do a man's job.
Grandma, man, she was the queen of the one-liners. I mean, that was her way of distracting everybody from the mayhem that was going on. Do you remember the fire sale? Do you remember the fire sale?
No.
The meat shop over the years, there was all these stories. Every year was its own unique story. And like I said, it was great because it created Christmas money for everybody. Fire sale was a notable time. Like, think about this. You're there, you're at this meat shop. It's before social media, it's before any of this stuff. All of a sudden, and it's, it's working people that money matters. Every dollar mattered. So all of a sudden, the guy came in, and this just tells you the mentality of it. It was a wild bunch. The guy comes in. JCPenney's is on fire. Now, for anybody growing up in the 80s, JCPenney's was it, man. The JCPenney catalog, you went to Penny's, it had everything. It was a big deal. And the JCPenney's in Altoona caught fire.
Was it the one at the mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody was, the crazy thing was, nobody was concerned about whether, it wasn't like, oh my God, there was a fire at JCPenney's. Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? There was no, there was none of that. It was like, whoa, there's a fire? Well, they're going to have a fire sale. It was like instantly. That's what they thought. There's going to be a fire sale. And I mean, everybody's like, whatever. Well, sure enough, a couple days later, there's a fire sale. It was like 50% off everything in the store. So literally, it was hard to keep everybody working at the meat shop because everybody's going up to this freaking fire sale trying to get the first dibs on everything. And everything smelled like smoke and fire. But I mean, there were some crazy deals. But the fire sale was legendary. I mean, it was like a literally, no pun intended, 5-alarm fire. Everybody dropped the knives and like ran to JCPenney's. PA Skill players seek genuine PA Skill games. How can you tell the real from the imitation? The PA Skill Alliance offers a 4-step identification process to help you find genuine PA Skill games. 1. Check for logos. Does the machine display official Pennsylvania Skill Game logos? 2. Look for Powered by Pacematic. Is it Powered by Pacematic visible on the game's case? 3. Assess business reputation. Is the game a reputable business? Genuine PA Skill games were not intended to be standalone businesses. 4. Examine game style. Is it a tic-tac-toe style game that offers the option to win every time? Help combat fraudulent skill games by exclusively playing genuine PA Skill Alliance supported games. Discover more at paskillalliance.org. Doug, it is one of the best times of the podcast because time for us all to learn this week in retail history.
Birth of the Pop-Tart, November 19th, 1965. So, November 19th, the widely recognized Daily Kellogg officially launched a Pop-Tart. It was the first hit to the shelves. There are only 4 flavors available: strawberry, blueberry, brown sugar, cinnamon, apple currant. Apple currant? Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Currant. Because the technology wasn't yet perfected, frosting was melting in the toaster, so they could only do without frosting. But did you know? What do you think has more calories, frosted or unfrosted?
Frosted.
Nope.
No.
Unfrosted. Because it's basically like glue. The frosting they use is like a hard tack glue. And so it takes less calories. Therefore, they can drop the ounces on the pastry part. And so it's less pastry and then get away with it. That's why the unfrosted has more.
Tell you, I wish I had $1 for every Pop-Tart I've eaten in my life. The amount of glue that's probably sitting in my stomach is amazing. That's probably how I've been able to have, beer and stuff over the years. Everybody liked the brown sugar. Do you remember Sharon Wolf, our old babysitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Sharon Wolf always had Pop-Tarts on hand. I mean, I don't know.
More with flavor.
Always brown sugar and cinnamon. And I freaking hated it. It was very nice that she had it.
Yeah.
And she didn't limit us in any way. But I don't know if she did it intentionally, knowing it was I wouldn't eat as much because, I'm a big eater. But she always had that brown sugar cinnamon. Oh. And when I'd come across a box of blueberry, it'd be all over.
Ugh.
Blueberry was my favorite.
That your jam?
Loved it.
So, also, fun fact, do you know that Pop-Tarts are flammable?
No.
Like napalm flammable?
Considering everybody microwaves them and puts them in toasters.
So they found out, like it's actually in like the early 1990s, they found out that when they put the frosting and everything on there, that the high level of sugar mixed with corn syrup is basically almost like it's a accelerant. So if you heat it to a certain level, it ignites and burns like a blowtorch. So you gotta be careful not to overcook your Pop-Tarts.
Make sure you clean out your toasters before cooking Pop-Tarts, everybody. And don't let the kids set the timer on the microwave.
No. It can be questionable.
I'm surprised that there hasn't been some serious. There probably has.
There probably has.
Probably swept that under the rug.
Well, Kellogg's back in the day, I mean, it was like the milk company.
Oh, that is
huge.
Insane. Great product, though. I mean, let's face it. I could eat a Pop-Tart right now.
Rapid fire!
Okay, we're super excited, guys. So, Ryan, you're in the aisle. You're looking for your cranberry sauce. Do you like it canned or fresh? And if you do like it canned, do you like it jellied, or do you like where it's a big like roll and they slice it, or do you like it where it's like has the berries in it?
You know, I'll be honest. I'm a canned cranberry sauce guy.
Yeah.
I used to like the jellied, but as I've gotten older, I feel like I've evolved a little bit. I like the whole can.
You want to hear a crazy side note about cranberries?
Yeah,
This is a fun fact.
sure.
So you know how they flood the fields to get the cranberries to rise up, right?
Yeah, I saw it in the commercial, Ocean Spray.
Yeah. What they don't tell you is if you don't like spiders, don't be a cranberry farmer, because they basically get in the all the cranberry plants. They get these spiders, like spider webs, thousands and thousands and thousands of spiders. So when they float the pond to bring the cranberries up, the spiders come up with it. So you're covered in spiders the whole time.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
No,
nightmare.
that's not.
Nightmare fuel.
That's not gonna happen.
No, not me either.
Arachnophobia.
Are you a white meat guy or a dark meat guy?
Wait, aren't we going every other?
What? No, I wanted to ask that question.
All right.
I want to be more moderately inappropriate.
Honestly, I'm a white meat guy. I will say
You
this.
need to open your mind a little more.
I will say this though. When it comes to chicken, this is gonna sound funny, although I haven't eaten much chicken lately, but because I got an emotional attachment to the chickens we're raising. But I did eat chicken about a week ago. You'll be proud of me. But anyways, the chicken, I don't like the dark meat. I like the white meat. I like the breast. You know, I just like the tenders. But with the turkey, and I don't know if it's because you feel like freaking some medieval guy. You feel tough, but it's also very good. I just like that big drumstick, man. I just like
The big leg.
hammering it, just
Yeah,
hammering it.
I get it.
I mean, so when it comes to turkey this time of year, dark meat, all the
Okay.
way, all the way. Although I don't like the wings. I don't like turkey wings.
No, I'm a breast man.
No, I mean the drum though. I mean, you just feel like King Henry, man.
Oh yeah.
Henry VIII. It's great. It's great. Doug, the MVP slide, stuffing or mashed potatoes?
Well, when I slide into my side, I do enjoy myself some mashed potatoes.
Over stuffing.
Actually, I like the bowl. I like the day after bowl where you take whatever you have left
Oh,
over and you just
yeah.
shove it into like a bowl, and it's like a random mix of and I like it cold. I don't like reheated food.
Yeah.
I like it cold the next
Wow.
day.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you ever do the sandwich where you just throw everything on the sandwich?
No, I like the bread. The bread gets in the way of the action.
So I love that. I throw everything on the sandwich. Everything. Side.
We already have the stuffing though. The stuffing's your bread.
Mm,
Yeah, it's pretty good.
it's good, man. It's good.
So, are you the guy at the Thanksgiving thing that has like the food separator where he has the peas over here, the mashed potatoes, the everything's separated, or you just smash it all together?
Separated.
Really?
Yeah,
It's all going to the same place.
I know. People have been telling me that for 45 years, but it doesn't matter. I like to keep it separated. And another thing is, like, I'm not one to eat like a little bit of everything. Like, I eat one thing at a time.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, watch me next time we eat. I eat one thing at a time. So if I choose, usually I go light to heavy. So, I'll go, you know, whatever the lightest thing on the table is. Usually it's a salad, so that's not too weird to go salad first. But then, I go up the chain to the densest thing last. Usually the protein is the last thing I eat. But when I eat that, everything else will be eaten.
That's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
Weird. Ryan, so tell me your retail story of holiday games.
Well, picture this. So before we bought the stores out here and we moved out here, Dad had been a salesman. After he was a union butcher for so many years, he went back and got his education and got a sales job, which ironically, the risk our parents thought was crazy, but he took a pay cut to get the sales job. And then, if you remember, he was on the road salesman forever. And then he quit that job, came back, got another job as a retail counselor, where he was basically in charge of keeping good relations and making sure the retailers that the warehouse was supplying had everything that they needed. And those relationships obviously got us into the business. But when he was the retail counselor, because he had taken a pay cut, but he wanted to have some land, he bought a beautiful farm in Huntington, Pennsylvania, 11 acres, right on Piney Ridge.
Is there on the railroad tracks too?
Just a beautiful piece of property. But the reason we were able to get it and the reason it was, financially feasible was because it was It was a old, small farmhouse, not very well kept. The barn wasn't in terrible shape, but the house was infested with, you name it,
Bats,
bats,
snakes,
snakes,
spiders.
spiders. And it's not like we had, at the time with him taking the pay cut, moving back and all that kind of stuff, we didn't have the money for like to upkeep everything with exterminators and stuff. It was like self-regulation.
Right.
And so you never knew what you were going to find. If you went into a room that hadn't been entered in a while, you weren't. So that's the setting of this story. We're in the house, and it was typical in our family to play games around the holidays. At the time there wasn't phones, there wasn't internet, there wasn't, it was like you could watch a movie as long as everybody agreed on the same movie, and you had to have a VHS tape. It was before DVDs or anything, so you had to have the VHS tape if you wanted to watch it, or it had to be on one of the 10 channels you had available to you. So, and you can only watch A Wonderful Life, even though it's a beautiful movie. You can only watch it so many
You
times.
only watch a beautiful life one time.
Yeah. So, the setting is there. We're there at the farmhouse. We have everybody from dad's side of the family over. Which let's face it. Dad's side, both sides were great. Love them both. Dad's side was a little more on the edge. A little more on the edge. A little, not afraid to mix it up with the law. Not afraid to mix it up with people that were against them. Not afraid to throw down. Maybe like to have a beer or 2 or 10 here and there. There was always, you never knew what was happening with each person, but it was it was always interesting. So we're there in this farmhouse. We just got done with this nice dinner. Everybody had a nice dinner. Mom and dad are in the kitchen cleaning up. Grandma was kind of helping. Dad slipped out at one point. We started a game of, if you remember, what was our favorite family game for the longest time?
It was Risk.
Risk.
Because it took forever.
Took forever.
You could literally play 3 days.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was a great game.
But every move was like, it was literally those little men on that battlefield. I mean, they represented everything at the time.
Well, that was part of it, but I loved about the Risk. The biggest part, and I think this is why a lot of people had hostilities, is you could turn on your friends.
Oh yeah,
like
on a dime.
You can have like a deal and say, "Hey, let's make a deal. You cover me here, I'll cover you here," and then all of a sudden be like, "I want it all."
And it was personal.
Oh yeah, I know.
It was personal.
It was like betrayal.
There was no
deepest
this is
level.
just business.
It was core betrayal.
Wait a minute. I took out the trash for you last week, and you're gonna take Ukraine? Really? Oh
yeah.
Like, are you serious right now?
Oh no, it taught a lot about like betrayal. Like
I gave you the last Pop-Tart last week, and you're gonna attack me? You're gonna attack me on my continent? Like it was serious.
It's serious.
It was.
So we're playing the most serious game, the most deadly game.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there in the living room, and I remember it was me, you, Uncle Tim, and there was I think Uncle Rick maybe.
Uncle Rick was involved, and I think Dad came in right in time. I think he kind of did what he had to do to kind of keep Mom and everybody happy in the kitchen.
Right.
And once he knew that things were underway, he kind of slid back, and he might have went last or something on the first turn, but he was involved with that game.
So everybody's playing the game.
Yeah.
Everybody's recovering from the food coma.
Yeah.
Everybody's trying to digest.
Maybe have
a few libations.
Some of the people might have been having a few libations. Might have been a continuation of the night before for some.
Or they never stopped. Yeah. Just power drinking at the family party. In-laws are in. Time to start power drinking.
Yeah.
I haven't drank one beer all year, but in-laws are in. Yeah. It's time to get
We were young. I mean, we were probably at that point maybe 16 and 10. And we're at the table, and the table at the time that we were playing on was right in the middle of the living room. So, you probably had, a couple people watching A Wonderful Life for the 15th time that day, or Christmas Story, something of that nature. So that's going on. You have people hustling and bustling, trying to get everything cleaned up in the kitchen. There's some leftovers on the table. We're there, we're all playing, and, game starts off fine. It always does. I mean, first you're just kind of getting territories. There's no hostilities because nobody's really, getting into it. But as it went on, it's a long game. So, there's some more beverages drank, maybe some, subtle passive aggressive or not passive aggressive digs, some family history brought up amongst different people. So, you got a lot of.
This is where I developed my rage baiting technique. This is where Doug came full for tuition. This is where I developed me, who I am, and how to really just turn the screws.
Yeah, yeah, and we also learned how to overcome those kind of situations too. Because let's face it, the Sprankle family, for whatever you might say, they always got back together. I mean,
Oh yeah,
they always
family.
came back together. But so we're there and we're playing, and I want to say it was you, if I remember right, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it was you that like attacked Uncle Tim's country, and you just couldn't miss on your. For those of you who are not familiar with Risk, it's a rolling of the dice based on the amount of troops. So if you have so many troops, I have so many troops. If I have more troops, I roll more dice, and if you have less troops, you roll dice. And based on the roll of the dice and the highs and lows, you match up, and that's how the game's decided. And if I remember right, you just got. I mean, if I could have taken you to a casino, I mean, you just couldn't miss. You couldn't miss. And I want to say it was a situation where you had like less troops, and you were rolling and beating them every time. And he started off with all these troops, and you just knocked them out. And then his next roll, then you or somebody just ran over all of his countries.
Oh no, it was worse than that.
I think if I remember.
I was his ally from the beginning.
Oh,
I was the Southern
you
Guard.
turned on him.
Yeah. So after he put all his troops up and was in a bunch of battles, he was weak. I literally moved through like just moved through the Red Sea and ripped right through all of his countries, and within 2 turns knocked him out of the game. And if you remember, he didn't take it well.
Genuine PA Skill Games, powered by Pacematic and supported by PA Skill Alliance, are dedicated to fostering growth throughout the Commonwealth. These games have been instrumental in supporting local fraternal orders, fire companies, bars, and retailers by keeping businesses operational, maintaining employment, and funding community projects. With over 5,000 communities across Pennsylvania, it's highly probable that Genuine PA Skill Games are working hard behind the scenes in your area. They ensure the vitality of our main streets, restaurants, bars, and stores. By supporting PASkillAlliance.org, you are investing time in your community, employing your neighbors, and contributing to local nonprofits. Together, we can help keep Main Street open for business. No, I mean, you're 10. He's standing up. He's saying everything in the book to you. And then he got so frustrated, because we were all obviously egging him on.
Right. Yeah.
And it reached a point where he just literally took the freaking table, not just the risk board, and flipped it. I mean, flipped it. And after that, it was mayhem. I mean, after that, it was like,
Oh no, Mom got involved. Grandma was yelling.
there's women flying in, grabbing people by the ear, grabbing people by the neck. There's threats. There's people pushing each other. I mean, it went from like nice family game, little fire going, nice movie playing, people laughing, hugging. It went from that to just literally WWE Royal Rumble in a matter of just one country being taken.
Oh no, yeah. I mean the noise. This is the shot we're holding around the wrist board. Literally, we're there, and as soon as that happened, everything just changed.
I mean, that's what you remember. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Those stories are memorable. All the nice times and stuff, even the nice whatever. Those are all just like there, and it's nice. It's comforting. It's
I would
nice.
say everybody was having a good time.
But the stories that are most memorable are flipping the risk table. And we didn't. If I remember right, everybody was just like, "No, we're not taking the time to put this back together. This is just done. We're just done. Everybody's done. Let's calm down." I think some people might have left for the day.
This week's retail trend.
This week's retail trend of the week is AI-driven hyper-personalization, aka app card.
We all know what happens. You're there with your friend. Ryan starts talking about, wrestling, people wrestling. And all of a sudden, he'll talk about it. I'll be in a group text with him, and it'll start showing up on my feed. And that hyper targeting is basically the idea. And they talk about this is they show certain ads in a row. And they'll show certain videos to get you enticed to buy something. But more importantly, it's directed to what you're thinking, looking at. So if you're talking to your wife, your phone's listening about whatever you're talking about, and then it catalogs that, and then it looks for keywords of what you're talking about, And then it looks for when people talk about this, what do they usually buy? And so this hyper personalization is big computers computing that information and then selling it back to people like Amazon, like Walmart, like Target. And then those people then send you ads on those particular items.
Wow, it's amazing. That just happened to me the other day. I was watching an NFL game, and I was I was there, and there was a commercial. Peyton Manning had a commercial for Johnston and Murphy, the suit company, the men's clothing. And I said, "Oh man, I love that store. I love Johnston Murphy." I just said that, in conversation. Well, next 10 times I was on my phone scrolling. What do you think popped up? Johnston and Murphy. Unbelievable. I mean,
Remember that time you went in there and you're like, I'm just gonna buy a pair of shoes and a belt?
yeah.
It was like stupid money.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it.
I almost thought I'd give you a
I'm a
loan.
$20 belt guy. This is gonna be my big time belt, baby. I'm not wasting this on
Oh my God,
just any occasion.
The wife's over there
This is
putting the
like-
belt away. And you're like, hey,
this is
be
like-
careful with that.
This is a big.
What's
If
wrong
I have
with
that
you?
belt on right now, it's a big deal. Whatever we're at is a big deal. But yeah, I mean, I witnessed. I mean, that was a prime example. And let's face it, that is one thing that as scary as it might be for some people, and as many negative things that you can find with AI.
Correct.
For the independent retailer, it kind of levels the playing field now that we have that capability and we have that resource with our rewards program, with our membership. I mean, it gives us the same tools that the big guys have.
Oh, I know.
And I mean, you see it every week. The redemptions on the digital coupons are going up. You see, I mean, it's working. It's working. And I mean, let's face it, anybody that's not using AI right now is behind.
Yeah, and if you're not,
It's falling behind.
well, beyond the AI, if you're not on some kind of reward program as a small business,
Oh.
you're losing loyalty, you're losing information, you're losing ability to use national digital coupons. You got to be on loyalty. I don't care what it is. I don't care who you're with, but you got to be on some kind of loyalty program
Agree.
that's hooked in. So not only do you get the sales information, but you also get the customers and the behaviors and be able to target with relevant ads. Obviously,
And the access to
Yeah.
digital coupons is huge
digital coupons.
because you can't just go toe to toe with these guys on straight price.
No, and we're not gonna, and I'm not gonna send you a Johnson and Murphy commercial or
Yeah.
a thing for wrestlers, but we're gonna send you an ad that might be relevant. I don't know, turkey coupon or something.
And we're able to use our social
Correct.
to direct people
They'll
to
push
it.
it.
It's
You gotta tie in.
yeah.
Omni-channel, guys, is very important.
Yeah, omni-channel is huge, man.
But Ron, I'm glad you brought the wrist story up. I'm glad you brought it up because it reminds me of my antagonistic behaviors, including when I was a young man in the old country, circa 2008. I just turned 19, and back then, there was a lot of online gambling. There's like a lot of the poker games online, but then there was also Canada, and Canada was only 4 hours away.
Oh, remember we were into the original poker boom. We
Right.
followed it on on TV, on ESPN at
Mhm.
the time. We may or may
Earth
not have went
Moneymaker.
to some underground fire hall games before they were shut down.
Did you know in the state of Pennsylvania it's legal to have a card game, even privately?
I didn't think it was.
Yeah,
Really?
100%.
Why isn't there more?
What do you mean?
Why aren't there? Why did the fire halls and everything get shut down?
It's illegal. You know-
You're saying did I know it was illegal?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every card game.
Absolutely.
Your buddy's house
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It's
I
illegal.
did actually know that.
Right.
Yeah. And that's why it's important to, if you're going to have a game like that, you use
Play for
chips.
free.
You use chips and it's
Right.
just fun.
Still though, it's illegal.
Even
It's still illegal.
at that.
Yes.
Wow.
Very illegal.
Wow. I didn't know that it went to that extent.
Yeah. So back then, I had a buddy named Bobby, and Bobby had this house out in the middle of the woods. It was very secluded. He had quads. He'd have these big video game parties. Back then, you didn't really have online gaming. You had everybody would bring their home TV, like your living room TV and your living room Xbox, to his house, and then hook them together using telephone cables and play 16 people parties. And these games would last days.
That's where the 6 years is a big gap because my generation, we didn't do that yet.
Right. Yeah, that's they call it LAN parties.
Wow.
LAN.
Hmm.
So we were doing these big parties. It was a great time. And this guy was a wildcat. He was a very educated guy. He was tall, lanky. People thought that Bobby had a problem with marijuana. Funny thing is, Bobby didn't smoke. Bobby was just crazy. He's a good guy. Good guy. He didn't even really drink at all. It was my 19th birthday. You were going to invite me up to Canada, and you were going to bring the wife and the mother-in-law. We were supposed to all go to Canada. And so it was the night
We
before.
were all supposed to go together.
Yeah, no. I was going to meet you up there.
Oh, that's right, because we picked her up.
Right. You had to go pick her up.
We
from,
picked her up,
not Shippensburg.
Lock Haven.
Yes.
We picked her up,
Yeah.
and then we were going to meet up.
Correct.
That's right. That's right.
So it was the night before. I was going to drive up in the
That's right.
morning, and it's about 4 hours up north.
And yeah, you were 19, so you could play.
Correct.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So I'm over at Bobby's house. We're having a great time. And Bobby and I are looking at each other. It's about 10 o'clock at night. And he says, that sounds like fun. I'm like, you know what? You should come with me. Not even talking to you. Because I'm like, you should just come with me. So Bobby and I launched
Keep in mind, we all had one room.
Correct. Yeah.
We were all staying in one room. It wasn't like we had a 3-bedroom suite.
No, it was tight efficiency.
2 double beds.
Yes.
Mother-in-law, me,
Right.
Bran,
Right.
you,
Yeah.
and now potentially Bobby.
So Bobby and I don't have any money. Bobby and I are both broke. We don't even have credit cards. We don't have debit cards. We just have $200 that we scrounged together each. We had $200 each, and we decided to rip north. So at the time, we had this little Celica, which if you guys remember the old car Celica, it's tiny. It's tiny car. And so we're ripping up the interstate. I mean, and we get there in record time. I think we get there in like 3.5 hours. It was
What do they say? Ignorance is bliss.
Huh?
Ignorance is
Oh,
bliss.
yeah. It was great there.
Yeah.
So if you guys have never been to Niagara Falls on the Canadian side, it is imagine like if Disney World, Las Vegas, and like old school, like we thought was cool 30 years ago, all had a weird baby. And the falls is always on the left-hand side when you're in Canada, and it's just roaring. And it's beautiful. And no matter when you walk outside, as long as you're on that main kind of area, you can always see the falls.
And when you're 19, more importantly, all that's really nice. But when you're 19, all of a sudden, you go across the border, and you're instantly 21.
You're 21.
And there's nothing you can't have. There's nothing you can't do.
Right.
There's nothing as long as you have the money to buy it or the money to play it.
Right.
I mean, I feel like it's like Pinocchio when he went to that underground casino.
Yeah.
It's
this massive strip is along the and the falls are to your left, and you have one big casino on one side. Then you go down all the strip, and you have McDonald's, you have like Hardee's, you have like all these little weird like one-off like scare houses. You have everything you could possibly.
Ripley's,
stores.
believe it or not.
Ripley's, believe it or not.
Yeah, wax museum,
aquariums. I mean, literally everything. So then McDonald's, like
beautiful.
everything. So then you go the hoist down the other side, and there's this other casino, and so they're flanked by the Sheraton Casino and then the other casino. So Ricky and I get to the parking garage, and like it's instantaneous excitement.
And it's not like we were staying at the Ritz. I mean,
no,
we were on low budget.
We
were staying at what was called the Cascade Inn. And you know what? No one that's watching this podcast has ever stayed at a Cascade Inn. You know why? Because they would not stay at a Cascade Inn.
You gotta bring your own
At the time, it was like $19.99 a night.
Ricky and I roll in. It's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. What do? We park the car. We go play. We get up $1,000. We get up $1,000. So we're up 1,000.
Oh, you were up.
We were up big. So what
happened?
Oh, it's great. So we're having a few cocktails, having a good time.
$1,000 in 2006.
It was a lot of money.
Was a ton of money.
Yeah. And mind you, I started with 200. We're up
for 2 19-year-olds that probably started off with $50 a piece.
Yeah, we started with 200.
What were you playing?
That's all we had. Roulette. We were
hitting a heater.
We were hitting the center. We were hitting numbers. So then we're up $1,000. We're walking around. We're having a great time, drinking beers, having a good time. So then I looked down. I remember looking down at my watch, and I'm like, "Oh, Ryan will be here in 8 hours. I can't wait to tell him how much fun we had. We'll buy dinner. It'd be great." So we're going around having a good time.
And you haven't slept yet?
No, not yet.
And you're drinking?
Heavily. So then we wander back over to the table.
Remember the thrill of your first childhood game, maybe tic-tac-toe? Genuine Pennsylvania Skill Games captures that excitement, offering easy-to-play, win-every-time experiences at your favorite local spots. Imagine a game where a little skill consistently turns credits into cash prizes, a game you can enjoy with others and even help them win. No need to just imagine. Genuine Pennsylvania Skill Games, championed by the PA Skill Alliance, are real. Go to paskillalliance.org for more information.
And we lose all of it in like a period of like 20 minutes, 10 minutes. It was gone. And we were literally down to $50 between us. $50 between us. That's all we had. Now, mind you, we didn't have any credit cards or
Yeah.
debit cards.
No, that had to cover food, gas,
lodging,
everything.
Yeah. So Ricky and I are like, you know what? We're just going to sleep off this buzz we have in the car, in the parking garage, and then we'll hook up with Ryan tomorrow.
For anybody that has went to Canada in November, you know, sleeping in the car when you can't let it run because you can't afford the gas.
Right. So you get like maybe an hour of sleep. So like we're like, hey, we'll get up in the morning and then we'll go. And then so we didn't have any money. So we're like, we're gonna go up to Walmart and we're going to go to the deli and ask for a plastic knife, get a bag of bread, 24 pack of water, and some peanut butter. And I will have some sandwiches for breakfast. And then when Ryan gets here, I'll hit him up for some bucks, and then it'll be great. So we go up and we're there mowing down these peanut butter sandwiches. No, we can't afford jelly because we're
Your
afraid.
shenanigans sabotaged my marriage so many times.
So
For all you older brothers with a 6-year-old younger brother that's going into 19 to 21, there you go. That's for you.
we're in the car and we're heading back to the hotel and we're in the parking garage again. And so we're like, hey, you know what? We still have about $20 left. We can turn this around. We can turn this around.
You had the rally moment.
We had the rally moment. But we remembered there was a fee on one of the interstates, whatever, for like $10. We had $10 left, literally between us to our names. And we went over and we put it down and lost right away. It was over. We were out of money. So then I looked at the time and I call you and I'm like, hey, how's it going? You're like, good. You ready for a great weekend? I'm like, yeah, I need you to spot me. I'm out of money. And my buddy Bobby's with me. And you're like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah, I brought Bobby. It's been great. He's like,
And you were like hung over. You guys had to have smelled. I mean,
no. I wasn't hungover. I was still ripped.
yeah, but I mean, like, you know, you'd been drinking at that point
Yeah.
for 20 some hours.
Right.
And you'd slept together in a car.
Yeah.
I mean, you weren't in great condition.
Yeah. I also remember, like, I don't remember what you said, but I remember what the other people in the room said, and they weren't very happy.
Oh, no, they weren't happy.
They were very upset. And
Oh,
so to avoid any other confusion or frustration, I got back into the car, I told Bobby, I said, hey, we're going to head south. So there we are, Bobby and I, mowing down peanut butter sandwiches, going down 79, heading home with literally no money. She hooked me up.
At the time, I don't even know if I could have hooked you up. I don't think I could have hooked you up and maintained the rest of the trip with
And what about poor Bobby?
with my family. And Bobby, what was his plan? Was he gonna sleep with my mother-in-law? Was
Yeah.
he gonna sleep at the foot of the
She
bed
was single at the
like
time.
a cat?
She was single at the time.
Yeah, what was the plan there?
I don't know. We decided to head north.
I mean, now I can look back and laugh.
I think if you can survive that, you can survive business together. And all through the trials and tribulations, we survived the butcher shop. My
Yeah.
job, I'm not sure what your job was, but my job was this. I saw the deer hides. So I was the guy out there pulling ticks off.
By the
And
time you
literally-
come around, I'd been through that already.
Right.
Because you started off as the solder of the hide. I mean, I remember second grade one time. I'll never forget. I was in second grade, and I'm there, and I'm like picking. This is the next day after working I'm picking at the scab in my ear. Like the scab is like annoying the crap out of me. It's just like picking at it all through this class, right? Second grade, bunch of second at a Catholic school, and the sister Francelle, I still remember her name. She's up front teaching whatever at the time, and I'm like picking at this thing. I think it was my left ear, picking at it, and all of a sudden I got the scab, and I look, and the scab had legs.
Oh no.
And the scab is looking at me, moving its legs. And I'm like, I'll never forget. I'm like, ah! And I whipped it across the room. I don't know where it ended. I don't know where it was. But I remember Sister Frances was like, who was that? And everybody's just like, and she finally just like,
Meanwhile, your ear's bleeding
my
profusely.
ear's bleeding. I just had this traumatic experience with the tick, but I'm trying to like put on my best second grade poker face because like it was a nun and it was 1986. So like, yeah, you're gonna get a roller. Like you're going to get corporal punishment. Don't miss out, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate all your support. Make sure you do what, Doug? If they do nothing else,
Like, share, subscribe, follow.
thanks for all the support out there. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Can't do what we do without you. Come and
Come and
see
see
us.
us.
When's the last time you think you got like tuned up? Oh, I think it's like years.
I can't remember the last time for me, which is a good sign.
Mine was last night.
You're not 40 yet.
Squares.